Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first lecture of communication networks. At first, best wishes to everyone during this term and good luck. My name is Mahmoud Hasab al-Nabi. You can call me Mahmoud or make it easy and call me Mahmoud. My office hours are every week on Tuesday from 12 to 2 p.m. at ENE building, room 4263. I am also available at all other weekdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at ENE 1240, but please send me an email to make sure that I am available. You can send me an email through mahmoud.hasabalnabi@ubc.ca. You can also call me in urgent cases or in emergency cases through this number. Currently, I am a PhD candidate in electrical engineering. My research area of interest are wireless communications, especially in the design of next generation wireless networks, such as 5G and 6G networks. I am also interested in information theory to understand the data processing, channel coding, and channel testing. I am also regarding to the communication networks. When I was third year undergraduate student, I received my first certificate related to communication networks. I became Cisco Certified Network Associate, CCNA certified. And after graduation, I became Cisco Certified Network Professional, CCNP certified. And during my master studies, I became certified Cisco Systems Instructor, certified from Cisco Networking Academy to teach communication and computer network courses. Anyone here know anything about Cisco?
I've heard about it just briefly when they were talking about the networks we're using at work, but I don't know anything other than that. It was defining one of the communication protocols we're using to talk between the UK and our office in Ontario.
That's good. Anything else?
I just know that the Cisco analysts are pretty critical in industry. Like if something's going wrong with your wireless, the Cisco people feel the need for sure.
Yeah, actually, Cisco is one of the leading companies in information technology field. At each organization, each company, bank, hospital, you will deal with Cisco router or Cisco switch. So I really recommend any interested student in this field to gain more experience and knowledge related to Cisco systems. As at many job postings, you will find one of the requirements to be employed to have the knowledge, at least Cisco Certified Network Associate, to have the basic knowledge about Cisco systems. So if you are interested in this field, please increase your experience related to Cisco systems. Also, another company, if you know, Juniper. Juniper also is one of the leading companies in information technology fields.
Sorry, could you spell that out?
Juniper?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. So Cisco has its own routers and its own switches. And also Juniper has its own routers and its own switches. The basic idea of how these routers and switches, the operation of these devices are the same, but small differences between the two companies, okay? So in the industry or in the market, you will deal with Cisco, Juniper, so you must have some basic knowledge related to the systems that you will deal with. I was also network operations center engineer at Telecom Egypt, one of the biggest mobile operators and internet service providers in the Middle East. Before start this course, anyone here from civil or mechanical engineering department? All of you are electrical engineering? Okay, But I want to say that communication networks are not related to electrical engineering only. It is also related to the other departments, such as civil engineering and mechanical engineering. For example, if you want to design transportation network, they are following the same rules that we follow in the design communication network. For example, the route in transportation means in communication channel or medium. And cars in transportations mean in communications data. So they are following the same rules, the same idea. So in this course, we are going to learn some applications that can be applied in many areas, as we shall see in next lectures. Let's start now by giving a brief introduction about this course. And the first thing, what does communication networks mean? Can anyone tell me?
A way for like people or devices to talk to one another and pass data back and forth.
Good. Anything else? Anyone here used for communication network, deal with communication network before? How? When you are sending a message, you are using communication network. Making web browsing, you are using communication network. Making a voice call, you are using communication network. So communication network is part of our life nowadays. So everything in our life is based on communication networks. So we can define communication networks as interconnection of devices to carry information from various sources to their respective destinations. Can anyone explain this definition more to me? Communication network means interconnections. Yeah, so if we want to explain this definition more, interconnections of devices. Here we have two types of devices, end-to-end devices and networking devices. End-to-end devices are the devices that we can use, such as your iPad, personal computer. Can anyone tell me other examples for end-to-end devices?
Cell phone.
Cell phone.
ECUs in the car.
Okay. Printer. Server. So end-to-end devices are the devices used by users. So we can call them user devices. Okay. And we have another type of devices, which is called networking devices. From its name, networking devices are the devices that can be used to connect between end-to-end devices, such as routers, switches, modem, bridges, hub. So, for example, let's take an example. If you want to send an email to your friend, okay? So you will use your laptop, for example, or personal computer to write the message, correct? So you are the source, and this is your personal computer, and you will type your message. So now you are using user device or end-to-end device, okay? After you write your message and click send, your message will go to your router, and your router is connected to the internet, and the internet is connected to your friend router, and the router is connected to your friend personal computer or mobile or laptop. Okay, so this is a network. Here, the source of information is end-to-end device or user device, and the destination will be user device. And between the source and destination, there are some of networking devices, such as routers, switches, as we are going to see in the next lectures. So here, network interconnection of end-to-end devices and networking devices. Why? To carry informations. This information can be packets, bits, signals from various sources, from various end-to-end device or user device to respective destination, which will be another end-to-end device. How the end-to-end devices and the networking devices are connected? They are connected through using the channel or the medium or the link. This channel can be wireless or wired. Can anyone give me examples for wired channel?
Ethernet or fiber.
Yes, Ethernet, optical fiber. Okay. Anything else?
I give you another 6. The LIN, CAN, SPI, UART. Forgetting.
Coaxial cables.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Straight analog. Voltage.
So all of these examples are wired network. What about wireless? Any examples for wireless? What? Wi-Fi. Bluetooth. Okay.
ZigBee.
ZigBee. Cellular network. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is wired and wireless. Can I ask, what is better, using wireless or wired? This is the best answer. In any interview, when anyone asks you, what is better, blah, 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 and another blah, 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 no one is better. It depends on the application. So if here in our campus, here in this lecture room, it's better to use Wi-Fi, yeah, as it is a small area, okay? But if we want to communicate, if we want to send information from Vancouver campus to Okanagan campus, it's better to use wired infrastructure, such as optical fibers in the routes, okay? So this depends on the application, depends on the cost. Wireless communications, its cost is less than wired communication. Wired communication, we need to make installations, and we have cables, and we have lots of engineers to make deployment of this network. But in wireless communications, we just install access points or base stations, so its cost is less than in wired. According to security, who is better, wireless or wired? Wired. In wireless, the hackers can listen to the signals. I know there are some encryption algorithms, security algorithms to protect the wireless signals, but still hackers have their own algorithms to crack these algorithms. So it depends on the application, on the area, on the number of users who will be connected to the network. So again, what is better between blah, blah, blah and blah, blah, blah? It depends, okay? So based on these definitions, we can say that communication networks are group of devices. These devices can be end-to-end devices and networking devices connected together through using channel or medium. This channel or medium can be wired or wireless to perform some services, to carry information, to send messages, to make voice calls, to make web browsing. All of these are examples for the using of communication networks. This is clear for you? Okay. The main objective of this course is to learn how to design communication network. This is your task as an engineer, the design. You will be given some resources by the company and ask you to design for us communication network. So you are required to know how to connect devices. So by the end of your design, you must have communication network with high reliability, with high safety, with low power consumption, with the best possible performance that you can obtain, but at the lowest cost. You must make trade-off relation between your performance metrics, your performance that you want to obtain from your communication network, and the cost. This is the most important thing in the market, the budget and the cost. And your responsibility as an engineer to design, to provide us with a design with the highest possible performance, but at low cost. How can this be realized? At first, you must evaluate your given resources, your given budget, the given specifications for the network that you will design. And based on the inputs that you have, you must define the architecture of the network. We have different types of architectures. Each architecture has its own advantage and its own disadvantage. No one is better than another one, as I told. It depends on the application. You must make trade-off relation between the advantages and the disadvantages. Okay, to take a decision that I will use this architecture. This architecture can provide me with the highest possible performance and at low cost. Okay, after defining the network architecture that you will use, you must define the protocols. What is the meaning of protocol?
Can you send the bits on the wire?
Okay,
Like the language that you're communicating in, sort of.
okay. Protocols, okay.
What do you packets get lost? If something goes wrong, what do you do basically?
This is protocol. Okay. Protocols actually means group of rules. The rules that we will use to provide control over the network. How we will minimize the error rate. How we will communicate. How we will minimize the collision rate. How we will minimize the delay. So the main rules that we will follow during designing the networks are called protocols. You must also define the algorithms that you will use. Algorithms will tell us how data will find its way to the destination. You don't tell data, please go in this way. No, this is done automatically. It can done manually, okay, in manual way, but in most cases, it is a dynamic process. So through using certain algorithms, it will tell us how data will find its way to the destination. You must define the policy. Policy, most of times, is related to the security of the network. Who will be given access to the network and who will not given access to the network. This is the security, this is the policy of the network. Based on all of these parameters, now you have very basic design of the network. Okay, you must use some analytical tools. These analytical tools are used to measure some metrics of the network, to evaluate the performance of the network, such as we must measure the error rate for this design. We must measure the delay for this design. Is this acceptable or not? Based on these measurements, we are going to maybe upgrade our system, improve the performance of our system. So these are the logical steps that you must follow as an engineer in the design of anything. Must evaluate your inputs. Based on these inputs, you must have define your basic design, and after defining this design, you must evaluate your design to see if this design is acceptable or not, and take the feedback and return back again if this is not acceptable to revise your design. So these are the logical steps that you must follow. So this is the basic objective of this course, to learn how to design. Engineer must design. So this is the basic objective of this course. Till now, everything is clear for you? Any questions? Okay, this is the most important question in this lecture. Why should you care about communication networks? The most important reason is jobs. Actually, the world runs on networks. As I told you, when you are making a voice call, you are using communication network. When you are making a web browsing, send message, send an email, file sharing, you are using communication network. Even teaching. In last year and this year, teaching is enabled by communication networks. We are using Zoom. Okay, so if you see this picture shows us the value of Zoom before January 2020 and after January 2020, after the spread of COVID and after the increased need for using video conferencing in teaching. So the market needs more and more communication engineers. We need network operations engineers, video access networks engineers, system administration engineers. More and more engineers are required, are needed in the market now. So this is the most important reason for why you should care about communication networks. So during this course, we are going to learn the basic techniques and the concepts that make you understand how network work, how to design a network. Also, if you want to complete your studies after graduations and do your master's or PhD, communication networks is the right field to complete your studies. Many unsolved problems are waiting for you, are waiting for your contribution to be solved. Also, the research funding in this field is very strong. So, as a summary, communication networks is the past, the present, and the future. It is the trend. When you are browsing, what are the trend topics now? You must find communication networks, 5G, 6G, Internet of Things, security. All of these fields are related to communication networks. So this course is very important. The outcomes of this course, by the end of this course, we want to explain the basic communication network technologies and the protocols. I want to make you understand what is the meaning of communication networks. What are the applications of communication networks? What are the different types of communication networks? create your model to study networking algorithms. In the lab, you will create your own model, your own algorithm to make routing, to tell the data how to find its way from the source to destination. You will do it by yourself in the lab. Identify the challenges in the network design and how to develop solutions to overcome over these challenges. As an engineer, you must be able to identify the challenges and how to solve it. Select and apply basic protocols to assist in network design and implementations. It is your task also as an engineer. You are required to provide your company with the design, which protocol we will use, which algorithm we will use. You must be able by the end of this course to take these decisions, to learn how to take these decisions. Make analysis of the network performance using different analytical tools. As I told you, one of the steps to design communication network, you must use analytical tools to evaluate the performance of your design. So in this course, you will learn how to evaluate the performance of your network, how to measure the error rate, the probability of denial of service, for example. By the end of this course, you will be able to develop simple network simulator to analyze the network performance under limited resources. You will be given some resources, and I will ask you, please provide me very basic design for communication network by the end of this course. So by the end of this course, you must be able to learn how to design. I repeat, how to design many times, as this is your main role as an engineer. The course syllabus is available now in Canvas. Please read it. The course syllabus, I consider it as a contract between the instructor and the students. You will find many answers to most questions related to the administration of this course. If any point is unclear, please contact me and I will make it clear for you. Okay. I also published the schedule of this course and your lab guide and the template for how to report your lab submission. This is also available on your Canvas. Regarding the lectures, we are going to cover the most important topics in communication networks field. We are going to cover how to make multiplexing, understand the layered architectures, IP addressing, routing, scheduling, medium access control. All of these topics are the basic topics, the most important topics in communication network field. I also here the last 3 dots represent that we may cover additional topics if time permits. Okay, so these topics are the basic, the fundamentals of the communication networks. In labs, you will have 6 labs during this term. In these labs, you will be able to implement some protocols and some algorithms to learn how to design, how to implement some protocols to minimize collisions, for example, how to make routing, how to make multiplexing. In labs, you will have a TA who will help you to implement these protocols and algorithms. Actually, I want to train you to live the experience of teamwork. As when you are employed, you will work in a team. You will not design the network alone. You have a team and you will work together to design this network. So in labs, you will divide yourselves into a group of 2. Okay, and each group will work together in each submission. Okay, so you can divide your service now if you know your service, or in the lab you can select your teammate. Okay, the submission of each lab 1 week after the lab date, and labs have 20% of the course grade. Assignments. Actually, I want to use assignments as introduction to the next week lectures. What will we do? For example, in this week, you will not have an assignment. Don't worry, but this is an example. If next week we are going to explain routing, so in this week, I will recommend you to read specific section in certain reference book. And after reading this section, you will be required to answer some multiple choice questions, okay? And in the next week, before starting the lecture of the next week, we will discuss your answers. So now you have basic idea about the next week lecture. So during the next week lectures, when I explain the meaning of routing, I think you will be more familiar with the topic before I start to explain this topic. This will increase your knowledge, okay? The deadline of each assignment will be the day of the start of the new topic. So you will be given 1 week, okay? And the deadline, for example, if we will start teaching or explaining the meaning of routing on Monday, so the deadline will be on Monday before 8 a.m. Okay, this is clear for you. The assignments have 10 of the course grades, and we also have 1 midterm and the final exam. The midterm will have 20% of the course grade, and the final will have 50% of the course grade. Okay, the midterm will be on 22 October after covering around 7 lectures, and it will be written here in our classroom. It will be very simple, don't worry. And as I told, final will have 50% of the course grade. Okay. I hope everything is clear for you. Now it's your turn. I want from everyone here to introduce himself. I want to know a little bit about your name, your area of interest, and your expectation about this course. I will take your comments and your expectations in my consideration, and I will use them to improve the content of my course. Okay, so let's start from.
Hi, I'm Brendan. My area of interest is power electronics, and expectation is just like a good communication system between when assignments are due, when labs are due, just making sure the schedule is all clear.
Okay, anything else?
That's all.
Okay.
So I'm going to just want to quick Brendan here. My name's Thomas, and I don't yet have any particular area of interest. I'm currently just exploring the different fields. With regards to the course, I'm honestly looking forward to the content you've prepared so far. This looks like it's going to be a very excellent course. Again, I don't know enough about communication system as of right now to be able to provide any useful feedback.
Okay, that's good. But you don't have any area of interest till now.
Sorry?
You don't have any area of interest till now.
Well, there's none I can call it in particular, because I enjoy power electronics. I enjoy the little bit I've done with communication systems. I enjoy the little bit I've done with circuit design on a small scale. I enjoy embedded coding. Like there's too many different things that I've put my hands into, and I haven't yet found the one I want to pursue.
That's good.
My name's Duncan. My interest is going to be power systems. So basically large scale grid, power balancing, transmission, that sort of realm of things. Expectation for the course, a little bit of interest for like hobbies like congestion control algorithms and stuff like that. What's being used right now in industry, how those algorithms work and the pros and cons of them. Yeah, looking forward to learn more about how everything works.
Hi, my name is Iman. My area of interest is control systems. As for expectations for really happening, so maybe stuff that is very applicable to your life. Modern community.
I want first to comment that this course is related to the power system design, as it's also network. Yeah. So in design of power grid, for example, power systems, it is group of elements connected to each other. Okay, so it is also a network. Okay, and also for the control systems, your circuit or your controller is group of elements, electronic elements connected together. Okay, so it is also a network. Which language do you use in your programming and control systems? MATLAB. That's good. Okay, and are you familiar with Arduino, microcontroller? That's perfect. Okay.
My name is Evan. I'd say my area of interest is also power systems. And yeah, I'm just excited to kind of get my feet wet with this topic and like understand the crazy world of wireless and wired communication, because up to this point, it's sort of seemed like magic to me. I've been at like on co-ops where there's problems with like switches and routers, and yeah, it's super interesting, and I've learned that like it's pretty much the backbone of every company, and understanding and learning it seems super valuable. So yeah, so I guess one thing I would hope to learn is like some industry applicable knowledge. I don't know how much you go into that with like actual Cisco switches and stuff, but yeah, anything that would be really applicable to industry is what I'm looking for.
That's great. Yeah. Okay.
I'm Johnny. My interests are in software and computer engineering as well as automation control. So I did a 16-month co-op in an automation company, and we were the same thing, doing telecommunication stuff, and it was just super cool to see. So I'm hoping we can kind of dive into that and get some more, industry experience in this class. So.
That's good.
From the back. I'm Daniel. I have a specific interest in microelectronics and analog design. And I'm hoping this class will help me deal with my communication issues.
You need to prove your soft skills, communication skills.
Yeah, sure.
But this is communication networks. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, part of this course, you will have to present something. So this will improve your communication skills. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah. So we have here different area of interest. Most of you are interested in the design of power systems. Yeah, and this is good. This is promising field, especially if you are going to work in solar energy, something like that, wind energy. Also, the power of electronic devices is also one of the promising fields nowadays. Yeah. Also, for automations, control systems is also a very important field. Embedded systems now is one of the trends. Are you familiar with embedded systems?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So it is also a very important field. So this is perfect. And I hope that communication network course will give you some knowledge and some experience that can be used in your area of interest. Okay. This lecture is recorded and will be uploaded in the canvas. Okay. Here's the camera. Yeah. Is recorded in Zoom also. In the next lecture, we will explain how we can do multiplexing. We will discuss some architectures such as circuit switching, packet switching. The circuit switching is the old version, and now in market or in the industry, you are using packet switching in 5G, 4G networks. So we will explain the differences between the two architectures, how we can make multiplexing, how we can make users share the same medium, the same channel. We are now communicating over the same Wi-Fi network. So we are sharing this network together now. How we can share this medium, how we can provide control over this medium. This will be the topic of the next lecture, and this will be the first topic in your lab. You will have a lab in next Monday. So the topic of your lab will be about multiplexing. Okay, so you will know about it on Friday, and you will apply on Monday. We forget that we have a student here in Zoom. Spencer, can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well. Yeah, can you hear Spencer? Okay, Spencer, you can talk now.
Yeah, my name's Spencer. I have an interest in digital systems and coding and stuff like that, kind of more of a computer science aspect of engineering.
Yeah, one second, Spencer. Spencer is interested in digital systems and computer science, okay?
Yeah, and my expectations for the course, I think all of this content is really important for having a greater understanding of pretty much everything to do with engineering. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, Spencer, are you planning to join us here in person, or you will still join us via Zoom?
Yeah, I'll be in person next class.
Next class. Okay, that's perfect. So in the next class, you are required to introduce yourself again to your in the class again. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, and we are waiting for you. Okay, thank you, Spencer. This was our first lecture. It was just introduction lecture. In this lecture, I think you know now the basic concept of what is the meaning of communication networks and the course objective, outcomes, our administration system for this course, the course grades distribution. Okay. In the next lecture, as I told you, we will know about how to make multiplexing and understand some different types of architectures. Okay. See you on this Friday at 8 a.m. Okay. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Thank you, Spencer.